Hello folks, welcome to another round of Modern. It's Dylan from Alternate Universes, and on the left we have Josh Lindy playing Jeskai, Grinding Station, Breach, Shenanigans. And on the right we have Ian Flynn playing 5-color Creativity. This is your typical creativity list, playing Archon of Cruelty and all the other domain jazz that's going on right now. Specifically, Shadow Prophecy and Leyline Binding. Two cards that I think are very, very good in the Modern format. Shadow Prophecy overperforming literally every time I play it. It gets better and better. If you don't know what Shadow Prophecy does, it is an instant. It is 2 and a black, and you look at it has domain on it. You look at the top X cards, and X will be equal to domain. Look at the top X cards of your deck, and then you may put 2 of them into your hand, the rest of the graveyard, you lose 2.
That's why you should just go fetch for it now.
Effectively what it is if you have all 5 basic types,
One less of those I
you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, draw 2 of them, put 3 into your yard. Super strong. The card selection is amazing. And looking at the game real quick, that Ragavan hit is something Ian does not want to see. We do not want one of the things our deck is named after, getting exiled to the Ragavan ability. Now, if we're unfamiliar with how Jeskai Breach works, the Breach aspect of it is Underworld Breach. You know, that fixed Yawgmoth wheel that they printed? That's totally an absurd card. It won the MTG Las Vegas Modern portion of the tournament. It's such a good deck. Combo finish, gets to grind games really well. Is an early saga deck, so you can just do construct beat down plans if you have to. It's absurd. Now you'll see this is a longer video. This is round 1 of our weekly Modern tournament this week. And
it has 3 trinomes in it.
I knew it in my bones. We had 3 very fast rounds last week. I was like, I know I'm getting something slow next week.
So the mana base should be pretty
And no,
similar
there's not any issue or chagrin to the players. They both play this stuff excellently well. This is 2 very good competitive decks that can grind very well against one another. I don't think either deck is technically favored. Breach might be favored a little bit more than Creativity is in this matchup, but it's definitely not a large margin. And I say that because, so Creativity typically, once you put the Archon into play, if a deck cannot answer the Archon, you win the game, right? Breach doesn't really have to answer the Archon, though they do have the tools to do so with Unholy Heat and a million ways to get to Delirium. They can just win the game after you put your Archon into play. They can cast an Underworld Breach, do the whole Grinding Station shenanigans, mill themselves, and then cast Boss's Oracle. That absurd magic card. Which, if you've never played against, look at you. Is apparently the Bane, which is a Scourge in CDH. Not that I play Commander enough. It's quite good in Legacy and Doomsday, and we have a place for it in Modern too. I'm sure there was a place for it in Pioneer at one point in time. So they kind of just kill all the good combo decks in Pioneer, besides Mono Green. But the Pioneer format is not what we're talking about today. Right, so Josh has a treasure token, a really interesting looking treasure token. Both of these players were at MTG 30. I do not know what Ian played. I know Josh played Jeskai Breach. These are both his decks. They are both like his physical deck that he brought to the store. Him and Ian are friends, so Ian wanted to borrow the deck.
It's usually right. The problem is you do have to worry about these saga tokens. They'll be pretty
but
big.
yeah, I know Josh on Friday played Creativity, and on Saturday I'm like 99% sure he played Breach. This Creativity list, very similar to the one that was on camera a couple weeks ago, which was my deck. I think the main board is card for card the same thing, except no, I think it is card for card the same list. And then the sideboard is a little bit different. I was on a more controlling sideboard. I think these guys are on just like your prototypical Creativity board. As for the Jeskai deck, the Breach deck, I'm pretty sure it's just your stock list that you see everywhere on Goldfish, but those will still be in the description down below. Here comes a Ragavan. Plays a Spirebuff Canal's land for turn. Fastlands feels so good in early Saga decks because Saga does leave the board at one point in time. So you play Saga as your second land for turn. Turn 3, like, play a Spire Bluff Canal, and then turn 4, do the Saga stuff, sack Saga, and then play another Spire Bluff Canal. Or play another fast land. And I like it. I like it a lot. It's this very simple synergy that I'm just a big fan of.
One card. One card.
Now, folks, we're going to do some mini advertisement time while we got our players deliberating on what they want to do here.
So, we went to
So,
13.
Saturday, December 17th, not December 10th, we pushed it back. We are having a modern RCQ at Alternate Universes Blue Belt. We will be giving out 2 invitations to the Anaheim Regional Championship. Details will be on our website as for like entry costs and all that jazz. But it will be a nice little event. I will be there either recording or playing. I haven't decided which one yet. Because let's be real here, the content would be cool, but I kind of want to earn an invite to Anaheim. There are pins involved, and I love pins. Secondly, we'll be having a Legacy 1K in December as well. I do not have the exact date for that, but I will have that next time. Also in December, we're having a 0.1K for Pauper. That is December, I believe, 18th. It's the Sunday after the RCQ. And then this weekend, November 12th, 13th, 11th, 12th, and 13th? Yes, 11th, 12th, and 13th. We're having the Brothers War pre-release event. We'll be doing sealed events all weekend, starting on Friday at 7 o'clock. We will be having probably our biggest pre-release of the weekend. It's like the one I never recommend missing out on that one. There's just so much stuff going on, so many people show up, and it's just a blast. Saturday we'll be doing 3 different events, one of which is a 2-headed giant event, and then Sunday we'll also be doing one more event. So if you want to get some good old Brothers War sealed experience in, open up some retro frame artifacts and some packs, come on by. We'll also be doing it at the other 2 locations too, but back to the game. We have developed a board state for Josh. We have a Ragavan 2 constructs, which are Megatron tokens by RK Post, and they're fucking sick.
Tap draw.
Alright, Ian going to ice down one of the constructs, the one that can attack.
Aspirin ready.
Okay, we have Ragavan 2 construct, a treasure token, Mox Amber, and a Springleaf Drum. It's going to attack the Ragavan to get bolted. Think we're deciding if we want to interact with that. Nope. Let's the Ragavan die. There's an expressive iteration coming out here. Mine's Arid Mesa. Looks like double Arid Mesa. And that's what the third card is. My coffee's gotten cold. Speaking of coffee, loving shout out to Ralph Spasato. I will make this a mention of this again in the video that he's in this week. Ralph brought us coffee at brought coffee to AU for us on Monday, and I love him for that. It's amazing. The quickest way to my heart is probably through the hot bean juice. Bring me a cup of coffee, and you're just immediately my best friend. Josh is fetching a Steam Vents here, it looks like. Bringing in Untapped. Now, the other big piece on his board is he does have a grinding station. So if he's able to find an Underworld Breach, there's a chance he's able to win the game. I'm going to play a
There
dwarf.
are dwarves in there. They're like
Gonna
these
make
like machine gun
a
dwarves.
1/1 dwarf token. This is primarily what Indomitable
Yeah,
Creativity is going to be used on in the deck to top and then find Archon. Now Josh does have interaction for this. He does have the Aether Spell Bomb if Ian is going to just jam creativity here. So let's see, we have Spell Pierce, Leyline Binding, Shadow Prophecy, Archon of Cruelty, where he does not have any black sources. I have found, unless you're jamming red and 6 on 2, my typical plan for creativity is just turn 1 fetch Rogard Triumph, turn 2 fetch Desire towards Proving Ground. You get to access to all 5 basic types, and then from there you're able to curve out. Now if you have Ren and 6, it does complicate things, because Ren is a fantastic magic card, and is typically what I want to do on turn 2 in any deck that plays Ren ever. So Josh going to attack suit.
Go to attack. Yeah, I'm
Going to the attack step before attackers are declared. Attacking with 2 constructs. They are huge. They are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're 7 sevens. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna Leyline Binding. Target one of them.
I'll station it.
Just going to Grinding Station, sack and mill in response.
Put 3 cards in the graveyard.
Hit Grinding Station, Expressive Iteration, and something else.
So artifact count is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 6. Sorry, thank you. Treasure.
Coming in for 6 damage. Ian goes to 6.
Yep, I got you 12. I'll take it. I got 6.
Josh has Thassa's Oracle, Mox Amber, and something else in hand. Here comes the Thassa's Oracle. Let's plan it out. We'll be able to.
It's not scry, right? It's like.
I want to say scry. I don't think it actually scries. I don't think I've ever cast Thassa's without trying to win the game with it, so I don't know what the full text of the card does. Look at the top X cards you deck, execute devotion, put up to 1 of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom. Okay, I see.
Guess how many Archons
Put the pseudo scry.
So it's not quite.
X is greater than yeah.
I really have never done this before. Sure. Alright.
I basically know have no cards in deck, win game. Playing too much Doomsday.
This just sits here because it fizzled after. Yep. You could defer it like super trigger. Oh yeah.
Now the microphone definitely doesn't pick it up, but let me tell you, we're in that season, that nature season, where I'm in Pennsylvania, I can hear screaming geese all the time above my house. They're very, very aggressive. And at the same time, every day, it's like a flock of them. They're just screaming into the void. The time. I'm glad the microphone doesn't pick it up because I don't know how to edit out the sounds of screaming geese. We have a second Dwarven Mine coming in, making a second dwarf.
I'm gonna pass.
Dwarven Mine being from that common land cycle of Darnabel Drain that does something when you have 3 or more other of that basic type in play.
This deck doesn't play.
The blue one, the best one, was banned. Mystic Sanctuary. And then the black one, which is Cottage, puts a creature on top of the deck. And I don't actually know what the the white one does. The green one is that cat? No, because the castles are their own cycle. The green one's the gingerbread one. I think like the food token. We are spell piercing. The unholy in response to.
So I can pay for it with a turn.
Or I guess at the end of Ian's turn. Imagine Josh just pays the 2. I think you just sack the treasure.
So it's bad. It does nothing. But wouldn't it be cool?
As that treasure gets attacked, paying the 2, Unholy Hate will resolve, killing the dwarf.
Yep. I feel like you just died with bolt now.
And Josh can just sack the Ether Spell Bomb here to return the dwarf to the hand, and then attack him for 6 damage. So unless Ian has interaction, that should be the game.
It's like chunk, bounce your token, dash.
2 mana go dash Ragavan in. Just adding more threats to the pile.
Oh, yeah, on board. Yeah, well, I guess I could have some interaction, but now you
It's
got
the
it.
spell bomb second and blocking the dwarf. And Ian is going to scoop it up. Game 1 will be going to Josh on Jeskai Breach. They're going to sideboard real quick, and it's going to hypercut to game 2.
That's what. So
Boom, there's that hypercut we were talking about. Ian leading on a wooded foothills here. Probably fetching a triumph in the end step. I've talked about it at least 5 times before on the channel. But the triumphs are so good, man. I'm currently playing a deck, I think, that plays... So I was playing 3 in creativity for the longest time. I'm currently playing a deck that plays 4 triumphs, and I'm not in love with it.
which one are you looking
But
for?
damn, is the mana base so smooth.
Okay.
I can cast anything in my
I wasn't sure if that's
pseudo
what you were
5-color deck without issue. And it's kind of gross.
They
It's
are
kind of
into the
gross
20.
how, like, clean the mana base is.
Did you get a buy or did you win that quick?
No, I got the shit kicked out.
I was gonna wonder. There's no way you win that quick.
Well, I'm playing 4 colors. He's on Tron. It's like 90-10 for him.
And there's no tutor if you're not playing.
And I'm not on Leyline Barbie either, which is clearly
Presenting
way
my
worse
deck.
than that matchup.
Yeah. So you go to 19. Well, oh, so you have to cut. Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, that's why.
Put together. You get a 72. Yeah, that's smooth. Play around.
We got a roll of triumph. Play red and 6 here, pinging the Ragavan. It's such a good line. Like, it's a typical line, right, for Ren. Just to kill the Ragavan that they played on turn 1. But I never want to do it. I always want the land. But then again, if you ever ask me about how I feel about mana, I always complain about lands. I do not like that mana system. So Ren lets me play the game how I want to play the game. I always have guaranteed land drops. And I just get to play spells, and hopefully my opponent also gets to do things. Because when I play Magic, while I am trying to win, I would like my opponent to also be able to play the game. Here's an engineered explosives on 0. Not the greatest piece of sideboard hate against creativity. It is good, right? Because it pops treasures and it pops the dwarves. But most times, your creativity opponent will be able to play around it until they find either a Shadow Effect or Fairy or something that just like lets them deal with it, and then they can creativity.
What's going on here? What, you can't figure out why I brought this in? No, I get that. I just was trying to figure out the Urza situation.
The yours is bad. I probably shouldn't have. I'm in a bad spot. That's what's happening here.
Here comes a fetch.
16, I guess.
Listen, man, I like it.
Maybe less.
In this one,
Probably getting a Scheme Rents or Sacred Treasure here
it's
and
meant because
passing
this
the
one has
Fairy.
a lot of Tron.
And then if that's the case, I imagine you just bounce the Urza Saga to hand to take Josh off a land.
Weird application. Like it does. You can call Saga here. The mirror match is really cool.
Hammer.
Yeah, hammer.
You have to fear then, like, I guess you worry
were
then
actually
about Josh
responding.
just
I saw
blowing
you
the
do
Fairy
it.
up with a Holy Heat.
I like that because I got run over by
The
like.
deck gets Delirium so easily that,
I
like, the Fairy's not going to get out of range of the Unholy Heat quick enough.
14.
Did you play Tesla Towns or no?
I've not. Partly because I haven't gotten any of them. But I'm trying.
So I think if I play Teferi here, I would bounce the Saga. Because then also leading into your turn 4, it kind of just like forces Josh to leave the mana open. That way you can play the EE.
I had you at 17.
Or that way you can activate the engineer explosives.
I pass.
So
Interesting. Alright, just passes the turn.
the format.
Right?
Fancy man. It's fancy scalding card.
I know, right? Let's so I can have both these decks open at the same time.
I dig it.
Josh going to play a Scalding Tarn for turn. Look at that Expedition Scalding Tarn. Very pretty. Yeah, fancy man.
Good baby.
Ian's can play Wood of Foothills, pass the turn. The other thing about jamming to the fairy is that if it survives, you can just plus on your following turn and pass.
Not that card.
And then if Josh does ever tap out, you can use the Foothills, fetch the Dwarven Mine, and then cast Theoretical Creativity at instant speed.
I think you just said the words that he's gonna take 3.
Okay.
Gotta make a thing. Okay, makes sense.
Josh is going to make a construct here.
Activation on the stack. Practice.
Take 3, I take it?
Just
Oh, you get the mountain, okay.
makes it 13.
Bolt?
Yeah.
The other thing with the Fairy line on 3 bouncing the Saga is that if you're afraid of your opponent Holy Heating, they have to play it at sorcery speed during their turn. So they just make land drop, kill your Teferi, then you can play the mine. Again, theoretical creativity. I don't know if Ian actually has the effect in his hand or not.
There's some reasons where you wouldn't.
Just talking about the potential lines. Using creativity, because then they can't pop the E. Because they don't have the mana.
No. I only smell lotuses. We've gone over this.
Very good chance. Ian just doesn't have the effect in hand. Right, looks like we bolted the construct in response to the Saga trigger.
Yeah, that's that.
Josh is going to go get the Springleaf Drum. There's and Holy Heat coming out, killing the Teferi.
Enchantment, land, creature artifact.
Josh looks like he has an Invasive Surgery in hand, which is a 1-mana counterspell, counter target instant or sorcery, and then Delirium, it does the surgical thing.
Cards in hand? 4.
Pretty good 1-mana answer to what Ian is trying to do.
Pass. Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
A player can concede, didn't he?
3 artifacts?
3 artifacts that you see.
Bro, you got some hidden somewhere?
There's
Just
cards
spinning the construct around.
and
Very
in the
good,
deck.
very good.
There's what? Wait,
Like
there's
he
gonna be a
pings
this
the
flash
construct
artifact
as
out
well.
there. Is that mirror?
I think that's
Is
what
it
we're
a 2-1
doing.
or 1-2 or something like that?
I think it makes
The plan is to ping and then fire it.
Probably wrong, but then I'm gonna deal 2.
I'll float a blue.
Sure. Play. This guy's worth.
Ian, I think making a slight mistake there, tapping the Stomping Ground. Oh wait, he's unable to bestage you Or play the Besieger in his hand in case Josh tries to combo off. Because you can pop the breach.
Pass. When is gonna be me? Same for one.
17.
I think Josh's passes and attacks in.
Oh, I mixed my bet the 3 that I
6 mana.
oh,
We're
that I
close
said
to
out
being
loud. I
able to
know.
hard cast our
14,
card.
you
2 turns
13. A pass.
This is my favorite. Passes a turn.
Cards in a bunch.
5.
This is where we are with our lives.
Look, you have a red and 6 for many turns. I don't want to hear it. Holy no.
We're gonna Besieger the EE. Might force Josh to just pop it, though I don't know how relevant that is.
So if it fears creativity and doesn't have response, like to kill like the dwarf, it's probably pretty good to just pop it.
Yeah. That's fizzles. Am I get?
I guess I could have let this
Top tier meta matchup on camera round 1.
Alright, we're going to pick up Besieger.
Play this. Pass. Ralph. Yeah, it's fine.
Expressive iteration. We are digging. Fine. Arid Mesa, Scalding Time, Engineering Explosives.
These are what you say. And you're casting it?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, which actually was on the
2 mana Besieger. This one's a basic type.
More fetch.
I'm still gonna fetch.
Sure.
In the meantime, I'm going to go fetch. Probably getting that Triome right here. At Zayator's Proving Ground. The Jund Triome. I don't remember what the Capenna gang was called. For Jund.
Is that double black in there? Ah, you cut the blood crypt. You savage, didn't you?
I think I only remember 2 of the names. I think I remember the
second one got
Brokers,
cut
and I
to
think
the-
that was Esper.
I saw her.
And then
I actually said that at the beginning.
Naya?
I did.
I don't remember what the other ones are.
There should be one of them.
There's one in there, and then there used to be 2 before the Zahara, before the 5-color mana base.
Did not play much Capenna.
Like everything's going according to plan.
Did play a lot of Strixhaven as I did, so I remember
Oh dear, Mr. Red and 6.
those color names off the top of my head pretty well.
Is gonna
To the
do
point that I routinely refer to my Delver deck as Prismari Delver in Legacy.
I know he
Go to
is.
Gonna
9.
pick up the Wood of Foothills, we're gonna fetch. Going to go get a Blood Crypt. Gonna cast that Archon
This does
Cruelty.
not go well for me.
Let's do
What, hard casting it?
8 mana. Yep. Time to do it.
Just think about it for a second. Take your time.
8 mana 6/6 of Lightning Heal to your opponents, and your opponent, and you draw a card. Discard a card.
I got this. So you gain 3. I got 12 to 11.
To, yeah.
Okay.
Just choosing a resolve, so.
Discard.
Josh discards a Flusterstorm.
That's all I got.
Doing fetches.
This guy. Is it 6 or yeah, it's 6. But it's 6. Yeah.
Unholy Heat coming in and killing that Archon Cruelty.
Exile my 3. I will go 1, 2, 3.
Now, Ian will be able to just persist that Archon back. And we'll breach. He's going to be doing some value breaching here, it looks like. It's a Mox Amber. Going to Unholy Heat here.
1,
Escapes it, exiling 3 cards from the yard.
2.
He does still have Delirium afterwards. We did have to double check that. Because it is a thing that can happen.
Delirium when that resolves. I don't think you do.
And looking like he's just laying out his mana for his next turn. It looks like 3 mana right there for Teferi Time Raveler, 2 mana to persist, and then 3 mana to
See, I had to correct that.
have some
otherwise
fun
we
with.
get another fucking novel.
Didn't we have anyways? Land
I feel like you should have a
I
second
didn't
work
because I
source.
didn't have the instant. I just
Oh no, you're right.
The deck doesn't demand double white, ever really, but there's some awkward times where you need to play like double leyline binding, and just having it is pretty nifty. To say neat, and it turned into nifty.
The more likely to get people going. Perfect trick. We're following cards.
So do the swords mean I have to play swords actually? Or I get those? Right. But you can buy it.
Okay. I did my best. Doesn't feel good.
Mind creativity.
There's the fairy.
Not dead yet.
Pick up an Indomitable Creativity too. That's pretty good. Persist outside Archon.
Alright.
Archon's going to trigger, right? We don't get sacked.
I go to
Josh will go
9,
to 7, Ian will go to 15.
7. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Josh will
He
also
goes to
discard a
15.
card.
I go to 7.
Ian will
I'll
also draw a card.
discard.
I forgot the coffee was cold.
Ugh, it's in your hand. That's such a bad spot.
Took a sip and I was like, oh god. Fairy's going to bounce that Springleaf Drum. Gonna play a Dwarven Mine here. Make a dude.
He's doing it again.
Going to Creativity. So put an Archon into play.
So I go to, you go to 18.
Josh will go to 4, discard that Galvanic Blast. Ian will go to 18.
There's no cards on the bottom of the library. Then shuffle their library.
Ian will also draw a card.
So even with this one
I
card.
see the process to the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. You're at 4 now? Yeah, man. I don't have a draw. Yes. There's one. I need like this perfect string of cards right here.
Alright. Josh is just going to scoop it up. Ian will be taking game 2. And we'll be right back at game 3. I want to make some more coffee. Alright, folks. Coffee has been acquired. Been brewed. Breakfast has been eaten. Let's talk about game 3. Josh is leading on the Spire Buff Canal. Ian leading on the Scalding Tarn. And I bet you a shiny penny that Ian's going to be fetching a Triumph with that Scalding Tarn. And I'm going to bet it's Rogern Triumph. That's the one we're going to go with. Now there are 3 Triumphs in the deck, 2 of which are the ones that I think are the most popular fetch. And then there is the third one that's not fetched too often. But there are certain lineups where like you want to start with it over the other ones. So yeah, Rogern Triumph is probably the most fetched one, with Ziotor's Proving Ground being number 2, and Catcher Triumph definitely falling in at number 3. But it is what it is. Ooh, has to Catcher Triumph in hand, plays it as land for turn. Shredder.
Okay.
Going to cast Engineer Explosives.
No.
Going to get a Connive Trigger.
The way I want to. So got.
And weirdly not bolting in response to the Connive Trigger. Maybe saving the Lightning Bolt for something else. I do think there's an argument. I don't know. I think just fire the bolt off on the Shredder. I don't know what I would save it for. Like Ragavan? Sure. I don't know.
You got a
Scalding Tarn.
Yeah. Yeah, you can swap dice.
Alright, he's a Fairy Time Rattler. Gonna bounce it bouncing words. Bouncing the Shredder. Yeah, I think I just bolt the Shredder in response and then play to Fairy bounce the Saga. Again, you take your opponent off a land and it does the same thing with the EE. And if you want to creativity, if you have it, I don't know if he has it in his hand. Shotgun Sacred Tragedy going to 16. Here's a really, really weird complaint. So that basic mountain, at least to me, looks a lot like the secular version of Slayer's Stronghold, and I don't like it. Now, you're welcome to pull up the two pictures and see if I'm insane. I very well might be. But I do not dig that mountain art specifically. I guess bolting a construct is reasonable. But again, like you just bolt the bird, bounce the Saga, they can't make a construct? I don't know. There's another construct. I feel like it's a little weird going in on construct plan when you have an EE on the board on 0. Because if Ian just like flops down a mine into a creativity, you have to pop the EE, right? Like you have to respect it. I could be wrong, but I feel like you should. He's only losing one construct at the point in time, but if there was like 2 or 3, like do you still just like fire it off? Nature's Flame coming out here, target that Urza Saga. Josh will gain 4 life. Looks like he's trying to respond to something, but can't really do that. We bolt the construct.
My turn?
You got it.
And these players are getting dangerously close to time. As you can see, that clock typically gives them an extra 10, or has an extra 10 minutes built into it. The clock will start at 60 minutes there, but they only have 50 minutes to play. They did have a little bit of an extension for something. I don't remember why. We are a couple days removed from the tournament. It has Prismatic Command in hand. It has 5 lands. There's a Shredder coming at it. I feel like we leyline bind the Shredder here. Yep. Leyline bind. Such a good card. In Modern. And probably Pioneer too. Bloodstained Iris land for turn. Going to 6 lands.
Yeah, maybe wrong. No.
I wonder if there's
Still
an
like a
argument
minute,
for
You
Ian
have
to
20
just
seconds. Oh, no.
draw a card there. Josh has to have Delirium.
Yeah, I looked at it and saw that wasn't accurate.
So, like... Yeah.
Turn
Like,
players, turn 0.
the Teferi dies to a whole heat regardless. So, like, I think you just take the card you can draw off of it.
You're at 24.
No, I've taken
Put,
17.
like, the
Yep.
drum back in his hand or something. It's nothing major, but it's not insignificant.
Don't think he has the creativity in his hand.
Indeed.
He would have did it last turn, I believe.
It's on the stack.
Speaking of it all heat.
Yeah, Delirium.
I do.
It's just permanence, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But maybe not. No, I guess I have tablet. Destroy and do the faithless looting thing. Sure. So I'm gonna resolve it. Actually, resolve the fleet first.
Right, goes top down.
It goes top down, typically. Yeah. This is draw 2, discard 2. Yes. I'm gonna fetch.
I believe at this point the player's multi.
Okay.
The way it just kicked on, yeah.
It's my turn.
Turn.
One, I believe.
Yeah, no, you don't want it. You said it was gonna get rough. I didn't realize you meant that rough.
It's actually, it gets a little confusing, but it's actually.
Well, still not great. I don't think there's too much of it yet. Oh, you're dashing it?
Leyline butting on the Ragavan. Alright, so we have binded the monkey. The Ragavan is gone. We're playing Arid Mesa's land for turn. E on 0.
Turn 3.
I think the Prismari command play that happened a little bit ago was strange. I think the moods, I think the draw 2 discard 2 mood was wrong. I think it had a higher upside, but I think you just make the treasure shatter an artifact, because then you can hard cast the Archon instead of discarding it.
I'm down to 15, is that
Hoping you
right?
find either persist or creativity.
Okay, I must have missed it with his fetches. I'm not gonna kill him with life totals, so if I kill him, it's not with that. Alright, that's a good draw actually. Alright. I have a line. I don't believe he can kill me. I should have popped that last turn. That was a bit of a misplay. Alright, see what happens here.
Here we cast it under World Breacher. Saving ourselves 3 red mana
Yes,
open.
I might as well leave this up.
Oh, maybe not. 2 red mana and a Hallowed Fountain. As Moxander and a blue card that got shuffled too quickly for me to be able to see what it is. Maybe Francis Oracle. These players are definitely in turns right now.
This has to be like
Consideration, we're
perfect
gonna
for me to
exile
have
3 cards from the
anything,
yard.
right? Alright, we're gonna get a station.
As always, Josh is fighting the playmat.
Station and a
Every
land.
fiber of his being.
I'll play not to lose. See, if I wanted to win next turn, I'd take this card. I'll play not to lose. Play this. Put this here.
There was a breach revealed. I don't think that's the card he put in his hand though. And then he's exiling an Aaron Mesa.
I'll bobble you. I'll end up bobbling twice. I'll take 3.
Right, Ball's gonna look at a Ren 6 on top of the deck.
I'll pass to you. I get 2 bobble triggers just so help me not die. Actually, I'm only gonna take.
I was gonna say I don't
no,
think
I have to take 2.
You passed, right?
Ian's in a position where he can win the game at this point, but if he can put a Archon on, I think he gets 2 more turns. If he can put an Archon on the board, put Josh to 10, and then no, it's still like 1 point of damage less. He could ping with Ren actually for lethal,
Oh, it's in play. Okay, I only take
so
1.
he has a chance to win, but
Island,
he needs
island,
to put an Archon on the board immediately.
There's an island in here. Alright. And then I get 2 draws on bobble.
I can see it.
Looks like Ian's just gonna scoop it up to Josh.
It's the same.
Josh will be taking 2-1
Doesn't matter
Jeskai Breach up a 5 color creativity. Thanks
You
for
sure
watching,
you can
folks,
see it?
and
Yeah.
have a great rest of your day.
They're your cards.
That they are. But that's interesting.